This is an official disclaimer brought to you by RW Wrestling Podcasts. Some of the material discussed in the following review contains nonsensical and outright stupidity. We here at RW Wrestling Podcasts are not responsible for any cognitive loss, decline, or any permanent brain damage. We are not responsible for any headaches, lesions, hair pulling that occurs. We are not responsible for any viewer loss to WWE because we bury some of the things that you will hear discussed. With that being said, please enjoy.
All right, RW Wrestling Podcast is back again, and we are reviewing the horror show at Extreme Rules.
Are you scared yet?
Where our theme song of the night is Watch Me Now by Kevin Rudolph.
Yeah. Okay. All right, this took place on July 19th in 2020. Right in the middle, smack dab middle of the COVID friggin' pandemic.
Fuck.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, one thing is scary leads to other things being scary, and that goes to that story pretty much checks out for this show. Let me tell you. All right, I want to do a little preface to the show. Okay, so since there's no crowds yet, and if you want to call like this current extra wrestlers, or maybe there's like stagehands that are out there watching the show behind the plexiglass, there is no crowds here.
They're the NXT people watching. And Shotzi Blackheart is clearly seen.
Yeah. I respect that WWE is trying to keep the show going. I'm never going to be upset about that. But I have to admit, man, seeing the plexiglass and the wrestlers are walking in between it to get to the crowd, I forget the crowd are inmates trying to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're hitting they're smacking the plexiglass a lot throughout the show. So if I refer to them as inmates, you know what I'm talking about.
I do have to say though, I do like the look of the entry ramp when they have the plexiglass there, because like the colors from like the LED boards on the ground really pop out.
True.
Especially when you're looking at like Bailey's, for example.
Oh, I don't remember. What does it look like?
Bailey's is like straight yellow, but like really exuberance on the ground, and the plexiglass too, it goes up the plexiglass. Everything. So it makes it look a little bit bigger, not going to lie about that part of it. And some of the wrestlers actually did interact with the quote-unquote inmates, crowd, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Yeah. I will say this though. It did add to the environment of the show with the people in the plexiglass, and so it's kind of a scary show. So like we got escaped inmates wearing masks, and it looks like it's like people are just like, we need to get out, but we're having fun. We're trying to get out. I don't know. That's just how I looked at it.
Definitely, no, I can see that.
All right, so I think we had, I think that was pretty much it, so go ahead.
All right, so we open up the show with Buddy Murphy versus Kevin Owens. This is on the pre-show. So there's some nice strikes and some stunner reversals early going. Murphy does a nice knee to Owens. Murphy does some nice kidney shots to Owens. Murphy does a sleeper hold to Owens. Owens does a nice DDT to Murphy coming off of Brett's rope. Owens does an atomic drop and a clothesline to Murphy. Murphy then reversed to senton by Owens. Owens just face plants Murphy into the turnbuckle, then does a cannonball. Murphy does a meteora off the top rope to Owens. Murphy then does a ripcord knee and a V-trigger, then a brain buster to Owens.
That was a good spot.
Owens then plants Murphy from the top rope and does a twisting moonsault to Murphy, which looked really cool. Owens does a super kick and a stunner to Murphy to win the match. Yeah,
probably my favorite match of the night, just because I think both guys that were in it. And not to mention, this had halfway through it, I'm like, another thing about this friggin' daily match review you guys give me is I watch a lot more indie matches. This match had indie feel to it, had an indie pace, had an independent pace.
I can feel that.
Yeah. To me, like seeing them walk between the plexiglass was still weird for me to see, even though you thought it was kind of cool.
Well, just during the entrances, it looked cool to me.
Yeah, but it still looked like people are trying to escape because they're banging on the glass. Let us out.
Yeah, no, I totally understand your feeling about that.
Where it kind of reminds me of that movie 28 Days Later when the chimpanzees are in the cages and they're getting released, but they're banging on them because they got the rage virus in them.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of. All the spots here were good. This match was great. I wish it was on the main show. The whole time, though, it is really distracting when everyone is banging on the plexiglass. It really is, because there's no cheering, so everything is like amplified by 10. Because you can hear, you can hear these guys calling spots from time to time if they're not careful.
You can.
Yeah, everything was good. I wish Murphy was utilized a little bit better. I wish he would have gotten over Rollins and became a good babyface. But like he got wrapped around in the friggin' Mysterio shit. So like,
well, there's definitely a chance that when Rollins returns, that Murphy can go over him because he already did once.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it wasn't on a pay-per-view in like a bigger format, but I mean, it was on SmackDown, so whatever. But still, it was good. I mean, Murphy's really evolved since back in his NXT days when he was teaming up with Wesley Blake.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that tag team. Alexa Bliss was their manager.
Yep.
Hi, Alexa. There was a funny little line that Murphy had the advantage, and I think he had Owens on the top rope, and Samoa Joe says Murphy needs to be isolating KO, and I was like, from who? It was just a weird line. That reverse springboard moonsault from Owens was great. I was like, Bruiser, come on now.
Oh yeah, when he did the springboard, so jumped up onto Brett's rope, and then he jumped up onto the top rope, and then he did his moonsault.
And I was thinking to myself, this is a damn good friggin' match for a pre-show. Like, why was this guy not? Like, why were they the first match out on the top of the card? Come on, but
because officially the only reason I can think of why it would be on the pre-show is because the story was technically Owens is trying to pretty much just defend the Mysterio family, so technically he kind of got brought into that, but not really at the same time because he wasn't against Rollins.
Yeah, Owens is so much better as a heel.
Definitely.
He can do both. Don't get me wrong, but like I love Owens better as a heel.
Well, yeah, Owens is way better as a heel because the guy can fucking talk shit.
Yeah, no. During every single promo you hear him in, he just has a way of either making you hate him or love him. He's so good.
Certainly.
And these guys could one day be at the top of the card, but Owens should already be there, and he's not. Murphy may get there, but I doubt it. So I give it an 8. I enjoyed it.
I gave it a 7.5.
Okay, so we're pretty much right there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I really was enjoying that match. So then we started off the official show here with a table match for the SmackDown Tag Titles. New Day versus Antonio Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. All right. Cesaro does some nice uppercuts to Big E and Kingston. Kofi does a double stomp to Cesaro. Then Kingston does a corner clothesline off of Big E. Big E does a belly-to-belly to Cesaro. Cesaro throws Kofi into the plexiglass, which sounded like it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Big E throws Nakamura into the plexiglass, saying, fuck you. Big E then launches Kingston to drop kick Nakamura and Cesaro, which was pretty cool. New Day attempts an electric chair to Cesaro, but Nakamura grabs Kingston by the neck and just knocks him on the mat. Cesaro hits Big E with the stairs. Nakamura and Cesaro attempt to superplex Kofi through a table, but Big E saves it by knocking over the table. New Day attempted a powerbomb combo to Nakamura through a table. Big E then does his spear through the ropes to Cesaro.
God, look good.
Big E launches Kofi over the top rope to face plant into a table, unfortunately.
Yeah, he got like flipped over the ropes or something like that. Yeah.
But that was by Cesaro and Nakamura. They literally flipped over that table, so Kofi face planted through that table.
Yikes.
Nakamura and Cesaro attempt to suplex Kofi through a table, but Big E saves it. Nakamura and Cesaro then do a double kick and a knee combo to Big E who's in the ropes at this time. Big E then attempted his spear to Nakamura and Cesaro, but they reverse it with knees. Big E then reverses a double suplex to the floor by suplexing Cesaro into the ring. Nakamura does a sliding knee to Big E on the apron. Kofi does a trust fall to Nakamura.
Mm-hmm.
Big E does a belly-to-belly to Cesaro. Big E tries to superplex Cesaro through stacked tables on the outside. Doesn't work. Cesaro then does his swing to Big E, and Nakamura does his kick combination at the same time to Big E during the swing. Kofi then does a top rope axe handle to Nakamura. Kingston punches Nakamura off of the apron. Nakamura flips the table upside down so he doesn't go through the table. Cesaro and Nakamura then powerbomb Kofi through the stacked tables on the outside, and you have new tag champions Antonio Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah. Four guys who legitimately could be at the top of the card right now.
Work horses.
Horses, like friggin' like stallions. Good lord. I mean, like these guys friggin' beat the shit out of each other.
I loved it.
The swing into the Kinshasa, I like it. I don't watch much SmackDown lately, so I've never seen them work together. I'm sorry, I'm talking about Cesaro and Nakamura.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
So I didn't even know what their I'm sorry, I didn't know what their finisher was, but like it makes sense because like all these combos who aren't regular tag teams always try to do like something with their signature maneuvers and just combo them together.
Yep.
So Corey Graves has been out there like since like New Day's been a thing with the pancakes and stuff. Is always like, oh, these pancakes are so dirty. He's always shitting on their gimmick. So Kofi and Biggie come down and throw their jackets at Graves.
Yep.
I thought that was funny.
And he does not like that.
Yeah. So I noticed that the audience / inmates are like sitting down there getting down to New Day's theme. They're twerking and all that shit. So that was fun.
Yeah, they're down, especially Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah, and I wrote down like what a waste of Shinsuke Nakamura's talent, and then I thought like, oh yeah, what a waste of Cesaro's talent. But hey, look, at least you're still in the card and making money, and still got title matches. So,
yeah, but tag titles.
But tag titles, yeah, I know. I mean, hell, even Kofi had a world title. But okay, I digress. Maybe one of these days. I don't know. I love the Big E Spirits of the Ropes. I think he's the only guy who does it.
Nah, he's not the only guy who does it. Most of the time, Big E should stop. This one actually looked all right.
Yeah.
Because Big E almost kills himself every time.
That's true. Yeah, he's got to be careful. The inmates do the New Day Rocks clap on the plexiglass. I thought that was kind of fun. And this is when I first started noticing that the plexiglass is distracting when the people are just smacking it all the time. But
yeah.
How else is the crowd going to communicate? So I got over it quickly. That Kofi spot was friggin' hell. Like he just got flipped right over the fucking ropes into the table. Or I'm sorry. Wait a minute, what was that spot?
It's the spot where they were trying to. They launched him over the ropes, and Cesaro and Nakamura were gonna go through the table, but then they flipped the table up in his face.
That's right. Okay.
Like, surprised that table didn't break there. That'd have been kind of funny.
I don't know. Would it have worked? Would it have been like, because they always say you have to be put to the table. You can't put yourself to the table.
Yeah, because technically they flipped over the table.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
So that would have counted as offense.
And when they put the two stacked tables up, I was like, uh-oh, who's going through that shit?
Not the ones who stacked it.
So at the beginning of the match, you could hear the New Day directing traffic with each other and talking shit, and you could really hear it. I thought it was really cool. That's one cool aspect about the no crowds, and is that you can hear the wrestlers talk in the ring when they're talking shit and all that kind of stuff.
You can.
Sometimes it's a little like, I don't need to hear what you're saying. But sometimes when it's with New Day, it works because they're just so good on expressing what's going on in a match or what they're going to do. Like you can see like Big E's like, go over there, I'll send him to you, and then the next thing is like Kofi's like, okay, put him over here, and I'll get him or something like that. It's really cool stuff. I don't think this is better than Owens and Murphy, but at the same time, it still was great. I gave it 7.5.
I gave it an 8 just because I did like some of the spots that they did to the tables that were creative. Like, I gave them credit because normally a tables match, you can't really do much with a tables match. This one, they made it rather entertaining. Like, don't get me wrong, wrestling quality-wise, Murphy and Owens is better, yes. But with the creative spots of the tables, and they've actually made a table match pretty entertaining. Probably either the best match on this show or the second best match on this show. Yeah. I got to give them credit, so I'll say an 8.
Cool, let's do it. We have a backstage promo between Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Nikki Cross, and Kairi Sane. Okay, so it looked like it was like they're all trying to pump up Nikki Cross for her match.
It's a rah-rah meeting.
Yeah. Honestly, at first I didn't know what to make of it, so I wrote down some of the the conversation here. Alexa, repeat after me. Believe and you can achieve. Cross repeats it. Asuka, tonight I will beat Bayley. Cross repeats it. At this point, I'm like, is this just a joke? But then it dawned on me they're trying to pump her up. Okay, because I really did not catch on to that at first. Sane says, I have faith in myself. Cross repeats it. Bliss says, tonight is my night. And then Cross is like, oh, thanks, guys. I love this. My confidence is growing. I've never felt better. Cross is like, I'm ready to go. Asuka's like, we believe in you. Cross says, I'm feeling invincible. Let's go. Sane says, and even if you lose, we will be your friends. And everyone's like, what? Awkward. And then all the women started saying, "You got this," encouraging Cross on Cross's way to the ring. And I'll be honest with you, I thought this was going to... It was kind of funnier than it was, like, you know, it didn't pump me up at all.
No, it makes me miss Kairi Sane, though.
Yeah, I don't... She does the pirate thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the pirate gimmick. I hate pirate gimmicks.
Oh.
They're cheesy.
It's alright.
I know. But either way, I don't think Kairi Sane sucks.
PCO had a pirate gimmick.
Yeah, but not as PCO. He was called Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
So?
So?
Still a pirate gimmick.
Yeah, and I didn't like it then. I mean, he had a battle over Bret Hart's ring gear, for fuck's sake.
Well, he stole the man's jacket. You don't steal the jacket.
But he did.
Well, don't do it.
He paid for it. All right, so let me go into the SmackDown Women's title match.
All right, we got a SmackDown Women's title match, Bayley versus Nikki Cross. First things first is Bayley overpowered Cross attempting a waist lock. Cross slaps Bayley. Then Cross does a neck breaker to Bayley. Cross does an outside drop kick and a tornado DDT off the apron, which actually looks rather smooth to Bayley. Cross does two cross bodies from the apron to Bayley. Cross does a cross body off of two top rope cross bodies, and then does one off the apron to Bayley. Bayley throws Cross into the plexiglass, which that hurts. Bayley is choking Cross in the ropes. Bayley does a snapmare to Cross. Bayley does a rear naked chin lock to Cross. Bayley gets Cross caught in the ring skirt and starts punching her.
Yeah, this is a great spot. I love this part.
Then Cross goes under the ring, goes to the other side, and catches Bayley, so they're both stuck in the ring skirt now, and they're just punching. She's just punching Bayley at this point. Cross then does a stunner to Bayley in the ropes. Cross does a crossface to Bayley. Bayley does a Bayley to belly to Cross. Bayley does a superplex to Cross. Bayley tries to do a baseball slide around the ring post and just kind of rolls her into the post. It looked kind of awkward. Cross does a reverse DDT to Bayley. Cross clotheslines and does a drop kick to Bayley. Cross does a corner splash and a bulldog to Bayley. Cross does a modified straight jacket neck breaker to Bayley, which looked pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Cross does two back suplexes to Bayley. Bayley does a running knee to Cross, who's on the top rope at this point in time. Bayley then runs head first into the turnbuckle.
Ouch.
Cross does a neck breaker to Bayley off of the apron, which looks pretty cool. Bayley and Cross exchange some clotheslines. Then Sasha Banks gives Bayley her brass knuckles, or her boss knuckles.
God damn it.
And she hits Cross in the stomach, and Bayley then gives Cross the Bayley to belly. Or actually, no, gives her a modified overdrive.
Oh, what was that?
The move that Randy Orton used to use, where he literally has the guy's head down here, puts his leg over the head, and just goes wham.
Oh, okay. So it says the person's head goes down to the mat.
Yep. So Bayley beats Nikki Cross.
The end was just dumb. Okay, like, I've watched plenty of matches where, like, dumb things are considered effective foreign objects. I've seen cell phones be used, like a cell phone like this one, not the big one that Paul Heyman had.
I was gonna say Paul Heyman's one hurt.
Yeah, but but like an LG size cell phone, it's been used as an object that knocks somebody out. And this is no different. I groaned at it. You could have found a better way. Throw one to the belt. She got fucking 3 of them. You know.
Well, to be fair, they did originally, because that's why they distracted the ref.
Oh, I know, but like as far as like the finisher, I more believe a belt will knock you out versus a friggin' stupid the boss knucks, or whatever fucking want to call them.
Well, to be fair, I mean the whole thing is they're supposed to be quote unquote brass knuckles.
Yeah, sure. It's more like jewelry, but
so
okay.
It's kind of like William Regal's power of the punch in a way.
Yep, I get it. I get what they're going for.
It wasn't the best, I'll tell you that.
It's not convincing enough for me. I do like the idea of Sasha wearing all the belts, so she's Sasha 3 belts, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, she did lose 2 of them when Bayley won, so... I'm kidding. I'm just making something out of nothing. I just thought it was funny. Because you see Sasha with the belts the whole fucking match. And I'm like, well, they got to get them on TV, right? So, like, I wouldn't want to wear those belts.
No.
Ever. They're fucking bulky.
Ever.
However, I will say this though: when Bailey and Banks were getting into the ring, they had a cool visual where one was standing above the other, and then there's like a diagonal with like the SmackDown Women's title, then a tag team title, and then the other tag team title. We're all in like a diagonal row, and the camera's looking right up at it. I thought that was really cool. I mean, like WWE nails it with the cameras and.
What did you think about Bailey's entrance?
I don't remember it.
Oh man,
I have to go back and look at it. You mentioned it earlier.
One of the parts that I loved about it is Bailey being a total dick. So she had the one SmackDown, or she had the one tag title on her shoulder, and she was wearing the SmackDown Women's belt, and she would go up to all the NXT people that are in the thing, and she would start tapping the belt against the plexiglass, which then they would go boo.
Yeah, marks.
I thought that was pretty funny, actually.
Well, Bailey's good as a heel. Like I said before with
her bickering with Michael Cole.
What did she say to Michael Cole?
She was yelling at him. Call my match right, Cole.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Talking shit to Michael Cole, which is hilarious.
So we had Bailey 2 belts evolved into Sasha 3 belts, and then it de-evolved back to Bailey 2 belts. They're the golden role models at this point. Bliss didn't do anything in this match.
The only thing she did is she took out Sasha one time.
Yeah, I don't even know why she was out there, but they had to have somebody out there to have Cross's back. So,
but the thing is she didn't really necessarily have Cross's back because the knuckles were still used.
True. I mean, so I don't know what she was doing out there. Let's see here. By the way, I think Bailey looks friggin' hot with the short hair.
Do ya?
I like it.
She looks good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. The inmates are still trying to escape at this point. They haven't gotten out yet. So
they don't get out, unfortunately.
Don't spoil it. Yeah, the belts get on TV over and over again. Like, I don't have to put the belts everywhere. God, like, never mind. I've already said my piece about that. I forget who did it. You mentioned it, but who threw who into the plastic glass in this match?
Bailey threw Cross.
Yeah, so the camera was right on it, and I got thinking this is like a discount Hell in a Cell, you know?
In a way, you got to think about that because I mean, I would think that the plexiglass is going to hurt more than the barricade would.
Yeah. So could you call it bash in the glass?
Sure.
How about kick ass in the glass?
Why not?
How about bust ass in the glass?
Sure, if you want to.
So I was having fun with that.
Bust ass in the glass match.
Bust ass in the glass match. Are they still doing plastic glass, or is it just Thunderdome stuff now?
Thunderdome now.
Yeah, gotcha. Cole, fucking Cole. I know he gets fed lines, but god damn it, I wish he had some autonomy to say. I'm not gonna say that, but
last time.
No, I don't even think he said that. If he did, I didn't. It went over my head. So when Bailey had Cross, Cross had Bailey in a submission move, and Cole says this: "Remember, if Bailey taps, Cross is the new champion." Thanks. Fuck's sake. God, do you have to say that shit out loud?
It was a cross face, which
by Cross.
No, it was really weird because they kept making her do cross faces and cross bodies, and her name is Cross.
God damn.
Is that your gimmick?
Well, it is my name. So I mean, I still thought the match was fun. I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7 as well.
Yeah.
I was rather entertained.
If the finish was a little bit different, I don't know what they could have done, but
I would have given it a 7.5. It had like the tag titles been used or something else.
Something. Yeah, 7 it is.
Did you see though? Technically, when you look at like you know how they have like the little emblems on the corner of the belts now, like the side plates or whatever that has like the person's name or whatever
on the strap.
Yep.
No, what?
If you have, so you see the tag titles. One of them, or both tag titles, have Sasha Banks' logo on one side and Bailey's on the opposite side.
No, I haven't noticed that.
I only noticed that because I was like, holy shit, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I get 7s around, I guess.
7's around. Except for unless Legend didn't do 7. I don't know what he did.
I don't remember what he rated it.
He was drunk.
Alright, so after that match, we have a little merch spot. WWEshop.com decides they want to let us know that we have to energize our attitude, energize our style, and energize ourselves with their apparel.
Buy t-shirts.
Buy t-shirts.
Now.
They're on sale.
You buy one, you get one for $1.
You buy one, you get one for $1. Anything else you guys say?
No.
Let's move on.
They suck.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have a Firefly Funhouse segment that's going to hype up the main event.
Hype up, huh?
And I'm going to be honest with you, with our trusted, loyal listeners. Since I suffered through this, you will too. That'd be a great heel. I'd be a fucking outstanding heel. I don't give a fuck. All right, so there's some scary imagery that's being shown on the screen. Different little clips of things like little jump scare, like rah rah rah, and this like animals and scary faces and shit. And then finally it gets into why it looks like he's in a lab or something. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's also got this Dracula pose on. He's got a cape, and it's over his arm, and he has it over his face. All you can see is his eyes doing the little Dracula pose. Good evening, my frightened fireflies. Welcome to the horror show at Extreme Rules. It has been a ghastly, ghostly night so far. But the worst is yet to come, and I don't doubt it. I present the most revolting, disgusting footage known to man, and it goes to a clip of the episode of SmackDown where they have the karaoke showdown, and they're and yeah. So, but then it goes right back to the funhouse where Wyatt is, and for some reason, at first it was in black and white, now it's in color. Because Wyatt is yelling at the rabbit for showing the wrong clip. You know what you did, rabbit? And the whole time it's in color. But then when it goes back to the funhouse, it's in black and white again, and Wyatt's back into his Dracula pose. So Wyatt doesn't stifle. He says, "Don't stifle your screams. You're about to bear witness to something never before seen." Yes, we have. A lost sheep coming back. A lost sheep is coming back as a great big monster. He's coming back to the swamp that made him, back to the creator who put the whole world in his hands. Shit. Home to a past from which he cannot escape. Bray starts to creepily laugh. Oh God, my brain cells. Jesus Christ. Yeah, like I said, you're all suffering with me. And that took me like almost a full page to write down. I mean, I know I write big, but I couldn't have. But you can't like write down like a gist of this stuff with Bray Wyatt, because like what he says is interesting because of the way he delivers it. Yeah, he's so good at it.
But so, it still sucks.
It's still. So I appreciate Bray is also all in, because that's how you get something over. You just go all in with it, no matter how silly it is. You can't half-ass it. You have to go all in with a character like this.
Yep.
But this is stupidly freaking silly, and like, fuck off, man. I don't need to hear about this shit. And the announcers would agree with me, because we get back to Byron Saxton, Tom Phillips. Is it Tom or Todd Phillips?
Tom
Phillips, and Samoa Joe, and they're all trying to put this over. And Saxton's like, I can't believe what I saw. Did you guys believe what? Like, and Phillips is like, I don't know what to say. And Samoa Joe's just sitting there like, I have to go through this. I was the big man in Ring of Honor. I was a big man in TNA. I'm sure he's thinking that.
Yeah.
And now I'm like announcing, no fault of his own there, but like I'm watching this. This. I'm sure he's killing. I'm sure he's dying inside. I'm sure he's thinking like, what was that stupid shit? But
true.
Like I said, I appreciate Bray Wyatt, but
God damn.
All right, so next we have another kind of a promo segment. There was supposed to be a match between Apollo Crews and MVP, and Apollo Crews was going to defend his United States title.
Yep.
But we don't get that, because now MVP and Bobby Lashley come to the ring, and we find out that Crews did not pass his pre-match physical, so he isn't competing because of an injury. Kayfabe. Now, in real life, apparently he didn't pass a COVID test.
Yep, he had COVID at the time.
All right, but we're not allowed to know that. So MVP puts over Lashley as someone not to mess around with. And then due to Crews not showing up, he declares himself the United States champion by forfeit. And this is also that new United States title design, correct?
Yep.
Was the new? It debuted that night.
Yep.
It looked like a pizza box. Like Domino's Pizza has all the. It just has all these weird designs on it. Looks like a pizza box.
I don't actually mind that design. I like the old design better.
Me too.
But I don't hate this one.
I like the old one better. But I think that it was just change for WWE for the sake of change. But But they change their title belts all the time.
Yeah, it's like, I don't hate the design. I would rather have that design than the tag titles both looking exactly the same, just different colored strap. Same with the Universal and WWE titles.
And I will say this, though. I'd rather have the United States title than the Intercontinental title, the current one. I like the old school Intercontinental with the little, I don't know what you call them, but it has the little square things, and it kind of tapers off at the end.
So
the classic
Intercontinental. You like the one that we had right before that, when it was white.
Yeah, when Savage and Steamboat had it, when Dolph Ziggler had it,
Cody Rhodes.
Not the oval one. Not the oval Intercontinental.
No. Cody Rhodes had that one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sure he had both. He won the title so many times.
Well, Cody Rhodes had the oval one, and then he retired it and brought out the old school one you're talking about.
Right. I don't remember who brought it back up.
He did.
I thought it was Ziggler.
No, he put it in a bag because he said it was ugly.
How right he is. So after MVP declares himself the United States champion by forfeit, which is not doable, the inmates start to boo MVP, and rightfully so.
Not for a championship, at least. You can't just be like, I'm champion now.
So due to no fault of anybody, this is just a segment, and it's like a Victory Road segment. They could have done this on freaking on Raw, maybe, and they could have actually done something with it, as opposed to wasting our time on a pay-per-view, and they could have given maybe 5 more minutes to the Swamp match. Just kidding.
Fuck that.
Just kidding.
Take away 5 minutes in the Swamp match.
Yeah, so this is some Victory Road shit right here.
Victory Road filler.
Yeah.
Our favorite kind of filler.
Then we get a hype package for SummerSlam, and then we move into the eye for an eye match.
All right. Oh, God. All right. I am ready to review an eye for an eye match.
Do we have to do this?
We do. It's part of the show.
Then the eyes have it.
So we have Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. Versus Rey Mysterio.
And eye for an eye match, and the winner dislodges the eye of their opponent. Do I need to repeat that?
I don't think you do.
I will not then.
So Rollins comes out to the ring, and he's waiting there, and Mysterio drop kicks him from behind.
Oh yeah, that's right. He didn't come out to his entrance because the entrance distracted Rollins.
Yep. They just started playing the music and whatever. So then Rollins is a sling blade to Mysterio. Rollins then starts going for Mysterio's eye. Mysterio does a Hurricane Rana to Rollins in the corner. Shoulder first. Rollins gets a kendo stick to Mysterio. Mysterio does another Hurricane Rana to Rollins. Rollins does a Falcon Arrow to Mysterio on the apron, which looked like it fucking hurt.
I bet it did.
Rollins is then going for Mysterio's eye again. Rollins hits Mysterio with rebar, which is like a little piece of metal.
It's like I don't know. It's used for to stabilize walls and shit.
Rollins at this point in time has Mysterio on the steps, and he's going for the eye again. Rollins is then going for Mysterio's eye with a kendo stick. Rollins then slides Mysterio outside and lands belly first onto a table. Rollins grabs a chair and is going for the eye again with the chair leg. Rollins then sets up a chair on top of Mysterio and is going for the eye again. Mysterio hits Rollins with the chair. Rollins goes for the eye with a pen. Rollins goes for the eye with a tool out of a toolbox. Mysterio does a drop toe hold to Rollins onto the corner of the announcer's table in the eye.
Oh my god.
Mysterio goes for the eye with the chair.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Rollins hits Mysterio with the chair. Rollins then ties Mysterio to the bottom rope and starts going for the eye again.
With his fingers, right? With his hands, yeah.
Mysterio does a modified Hurricane Rana to Rollins into the turnbuckle. Rollins hits Mysterio with a kendo stick. Rollins then sets up the kendo stick into the turnbuckle and tries to hit Mysterio in the eye with it.
The what?
The eye.
Is it the same eye or a different eye?
Well, at this point in time, his mask is taped up, so the same eye that he already destroyed, I guess.
Okay.
Mysterio does a top rope senton and a head scissors and a drop kick to Rollins.
Hey, wrestling.
Mysterio does a frog splash to Rollins.
Wrestling.
And Mysterio is going for the eye.
Oh.
Rollins has a modified electric chair to Mysterio.
Wrestling.
Mysterio does a tornado DDT to Rollins.
Wrestling.
Mysterio then hits him with a kendo stick, does a sunset flip into the barricade to Rollins.
Wrestling.
Twice.
Wrestling.
Mysterio then breaks the kendo stick and uses the broken kendo stick to go for the eye.
Oh.
Mysterio does a 619 to Rollins.
Wrestling.
Rollins goes for the eye on the stairs again. Mysterio rips off the eye patch he has on, technically.
Oh.
Mysterio hits a curb stomp on Rollins.
Wrestling.
Mysterio goes for the eye on the steps.
Oh.
Rollins gives Ray a low blow.
Wrestling.
Rollins has a super kick to Mysterio.
Wrestling.
Rollins has a curb stomp to Mysterio.
Wrestling.
Then Rollins goes for the eye on the steps again, and it pops out. And then Rollins throws up.
He heaved.
He puked.
He did.
He's gonna puke.
Yeah. So Ray wins. Oh, I'm sorry, Seth Rollins wins.
Yeah, Seth Rollins.
Okay,
wins.
despite the fact that it was dumb, why not have Rollins curb stomp Rey Mysterio on the stairs? Because you don't see the eye come out. You don't see him do anything to make it look like the eye came out. I'm not trying to legitimize that, but like it would have been a great. Actually, probably the best spot if that happens.
You know, it would be.
If you're gonna sell the gimmick, sell the goddamn gimmick.
I do like the psychology of it, how they were trying to use all these different weapons, like when Rollins had the kendo stick put into the turnbuckle in the corner.
Yeah.
And he was trying to push him into that eye first.
Imagine if Mysterio slipped.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Or when Rollins got hit raided the Hurricane Rana to Rollins into the corner of the announcer's table.
Imagine if he missed.
Or Rollins used some sort of tool to go for the eye. He used the chair. He used the kendo stick. Mysterio used the broken kendo stick. Rollins used the pen. Like, Jesus Christ. They were trying everything. Fucking chairs.
So we don't see an actual eye or blood or anything. It's just implied by the actions of the EMTs.
Well, no,
and Ray.
you technically do see an eye.
Oh, I missed it. Where was it?
Mysterio had his glove open a little bit, and you see like a fake eyeball on it, resting on it. And he's like, oh my God. And that's when Rollins throws up. Okay.
There's so when we get later, there's going to be a medical update, and there's an actual medical condition that I'm going to talk about. So we'll talk about it then. All right. So like you were like we were talking about before we did the review, is that it's a shame that was a dumb gimmick because, like you said, the wrestling itself was good. You know, everything you called. I mean, like I don't think Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins can ever have a bad match with each other, right?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate they were set up with a gimmick that were you do two good spots and then you got to go for the eye and over and over again. So unfortunately, it was just like I said, it was an eye for an eye match, and the only way to win is to have your opponent's eye get dislodged. Okay, whatever.
It's stupid, but it was technically happened.
All right, so because it didn't really, so Krista showed me the finish of the match, and it shows Rey Mysterio. He actually has his hand over his face. Now, you know this shit's fake because like there's no way somebody's like, oh my God, my eye, and he's doing this. He's showing it with his hands, with his fingers split at the exact space where the eye is coming out. You wouldn't do that. You have your whole face covered, the whole eye. So I say bullshit, but you know.
I say bullshit.
So, but not to mention, I doubt any wrestler would want to go into a match and literally say, "Oh, for the freaking love of the business, I'm going to lose my eyeball here." Why not?
Exactly.
Why not? All right, so I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with everybody. I did not take notes on any of the action in the ring. That was all Chris because I really just couldn't. I mean, oh, by the way, did you notice coming in and out of segments there was like a little ah?
Yeah.
Did you notice
it was really stupid.
Yeah. Like do that for Halloween. God damn. Do this that Halloween, you know? It actually might be more fun.
Might have been.
But WWE with this Monday Night Messiah thing, I'm lucky that Rollins can make any gimmick at least halfway decent. But they took away my favorite entrance theme, and that's his entrance theme with the and yes, because I play drums and it's one of the best themes I've ever heard.
Aside from Benoit for you.
Yeah. So fuck you, WWF or WWE. I'm sorry.
Whatever you are.
No, I'm sorry. I gotta take the F out, so it's fuck you. Yeah. Okay, so instead of taking notes, I decided I had to have fun with this. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I had to have fun. I was getting a little demoralized with a stupid gimmick, and I couldn't take it seriously. So I decided I had to have fun with it. So I stopped. So I went back to the pre-match hype video, and I counted the use of the word "I" 15 times. During the intro of the match itself, and the aftermath, the word "I" was used 49 times. So if you add that up, it's 64 references to the word "I" as an eyeball. Okay. So then, like I said, I wasn't watching the match for the match. I continued to have fun with it. So I decided to count how many times a letter with a long I sound was used in the match by an announcer or a wrestler. And I'm going to list them off right now because I'm having fun.
Go for it.
And so we had the words that were used just once were resign, fight, guy, trying, and tire, the letter I as in I am, like, by, tonight, time, wife, sunrise, Byron, and ice. Did they use ice twice? Twice? Well, twice. Words that were mentioned twice were night, survive, grind, inside, life, surprise, and describe. 3 times were drive and pliers. 4 times were messiah and the word my. Night got mentioned 6 times, and the winner of the long I challenge was 9, was used 7 times.
619.
Right. So, like, I guess I could have taken it a bit further and said, "Well, who said these words?" I didn't, and I was like, "Well, I'm not going that far." So, legend. I threw my pens as well. So I'm sure you did as well.
No, he was drunk at that point. Yeah. He was fine.
I was. I couldn't stand this match. I couldn't stand this fight. Not one iota did I like it.
1 iota.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I also found out how many songs start with the letter I, and it's roughly 3,200 songs begin with the letter I. Okay. Okay, so I was having fun with it. So, but I did give the match a 2 out of 10 because there was 2 guys in the ring who were great, and that's the only reason I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 4.
Okay.
Because originally they started off with 4 eyes.
Well, it has to be a 3 now.
Well, it's 3 now, but I think I could.
Oh, no. The I was halfway out, so it's 3.5.
There you go, 3. Right. I'm going 4 though.
But every once in a while,
stupid.
Yeah, but every once in a while, like matches like this come up, and so I decided to have fun with it, even though it was a horrible gimmick. From what Chris described, and from what I know about Rollins and Mysterio, the match was probably okay. I just didn't care to watch it. I had to have fun with it because, like, this is ridiculous.
It was.
And I hope everybody understands my enthusiasm and my reasoning.
The gimmick was ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous?
Ridiculous.
All right, so after that match, I'm kidding. It was okay. It just wasn't my cup of tea. We had a commercial for the Undertaker's biography called Last Ride.
Last Ride.
Last Ride. And then we have Bayley in the back talking to Kayla. And Bayley was feigning sympathy for Rey Mysterio. She was saying, "Oh, I hope you feel better. I hope you get better. But you can't see in double vision because I'm still Bayley 2 straps. No, I'm sorry, Bayley Dose straps." So she tries to pull the Alexa Bliss move where she goes from like feigning sympathy for somebody and then totally shitting on them.
I liked it, actually.
Yeah, and then let me introduce soon to be 2 Belts Banks. And then Sasha Banks walks up. Bayley says, I'm the ultimate role model, and I've beaten everyone. And as soon as Sasha beats Asuka, we will hold all the gold. Sasha replies with, Kayla, go get the champagne and bring it to ringside, because when I beat Asuka to become 2 Belts Banks, it would be time to celebrate. And even though it's just Victory Road shit, because we don't need to see this interview. We've already seen it on Raw 1,000 times. I like Bayley as a heel.
Me too. She's good.
And so they and there's another Braun and Bray hype package for Victory Road. Shit continues. They hype us the swamp fight. I mean, they're talking about the swamp fight like it's like it has to be like we know it's coming. We've heard about it on Raw every week until it actually is happening. So
that's on a SmackDown.
SmackDown. Braun and it doesn't make any difference. Braun and Bray hype package, which included a swamp fight is still to come, and then to get us back to the show. Great. So then we go to Banks versus Asuka.
Then we have the Raw Women's Title match: Asuka versus Sasha Banks. All right, I'm gonna say this beforehand. This match, not bad.
Yeah.
Asuka did a kick to Banks and reversed it. Then Banks reversed it into the Banks statement. Banks stomps on Asuka's hand. Then does a Meteora to Asuka. Asuka does an armbar to Banks. Banks does a top rope arm drag to Asuka. Banks then tries again with another arm drag, and Asuka reverses it with a kick. Asuka does the hip attack to Banks off the apron. Banks then tried to do a sunset flip through the ropes. Asuka did a knee to Banks from the apron. Banks does a double knee to Asuka in the corner, draped on Brett's rope.
Yeah, that spot.
Banks does double knees to Asuka in the ropes, then double knees off Brett's rope. Banks does a butterfly lock to Asuka. Asuka does a spinning elbow to Banks. Asuka does a code breaker to Banks in the corner.
Oh, that's the spot I'm talking about.
They both attempt a German off the apron.
Yeah.
Banks then powerbombed Asuka into the plexiglass. Ow. Banks does a frog splash and a Banks statement to Asuka. Asuka does a German to Banks, and they're back in the ring at this point. Asuka does a German and some kicks and a running kick to Banks. Asuka does a German and a hip attack to Banks. Banks does running knees to Asuka. Asuka attempted a German to Banks off the top rope. Banks does double knees to Asuka in the corner. Then Bayley and Kairi Sane start brawling on the outside. Bayley does a Bayley to belly to Sane on the outside of the ring. Asuka does the Asuka lock to Banks. Bayley then distracts the referee with the belt, and Banks taps out. Well then, Asuka, let's go with Asuka locking, goes, what the fuck, looks at the ref, spits the green mist at Bayley, but Bayley moves. Or was it Banks that she technically spit it at?
I totally forgot about that.
Well, one of them dodged the mist, and the referee got misted instead.
Okay.
Oh, Banks moved, okay. Then Bayley hits Asuka with the belt, takes the ref's shirt off, puts it on, and counts the pin. 1, 2, 3. Sasha Banks is champion? Question mark?
Maybe. We'll see on Raw.
Oh, fuck.
Everything was good to the end.
I agree.
That cut off 2 points right there. It really fucking did. So stupid.
But
not only do we have a ref who decides when the belt goes in the ring, he's not just going to kick it out of the ring. He goes over to the freaking corners like, hey, somebody come over and get this belt. And then you got people, Banks is tapping out, of course, because that's when it happens. That's okay. But he's over there. All he had to do is take this belt and kick it out. It's 20 pounds of gold or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it'll handle if you kick it. Unless this man's back there in the back saying, don't kick my title belt. Rah. I'm sorry, don't call it a belt. Call it a title. So that started the whole ending sequence. And I was like, really, fuck this. I was like, stupid finish. Fuck off. Really, I hate this. And then Joe had to defend this. I felt bad for him. He was actually defending this. Like, you got to be kidding me, Samoa Joe. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, Joe defends it because technically the heel is the one who did it. So it makes sense.
I would have said nothing. I was like,
the heel, at least it was the heel that did it.
True. I know. I'm just... The finish was just dumb. Okay, anyway. Again, I've noticed the inmates still have not escaped from their prison. So they're still banging on the glass trying to get out. Belly 3 belts. I'm not calling her Dos Strapos, but she has 3 belts because she has now the tag team belts and her title like Banks did earlier. So Belly 3 belts. Dos Straps. Fuck off. Yeah. A lot of good. This match was good. It was a cool spot. The Sunset Powerbomb was great. Even though she didn't hit it, it looked like it would have been brutal if she did. Then the camera kept going over to Bayley with her belt. So it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times within like a span of like 2 minutes where you see the camera's on Bayley. So I wrote down Bayley 3 belts 5 times.
5 times.
Yeah, 5 times, 3 belts. I swear, Banks like half her moveset is double knees.
It's a lot of the offense in this particular match.
Yeah, but she works it well. So I mean, I'm not dissing it at all. She also does the bank statement. I love that move. Like, she just makes it look good. Not to mention the person selling it. Actually, women are a lot better about taking submissions
They can bend back.
Yeah,
more.
because they can bend back and make it look like it really hurts. Like you see a crossface from like John Cena on Triple H. It's
STF, it looks
or
terrible.
STF, yeah, sorry. Well, either or.
Cena's looks terrible in general.
Yeah, because his arms are like, his head's here, but his arms are like 6 inches ahead of the guy. So how do you make it look like you're pulling back on the guy's neck? Like, it doesn't. So, yeah. Okay, so that one spot, that double knee spot where Banks hit hard on the mat, and you can see Asuka is selling next to her, and she's kind of like rubbing her head. Are you okay? Are you okay? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Normally we wouldn't notice it because WWE would cut away from that shit.
Yeah, but where are you going to go? Bailey 3 belts, maybe? Bailey 3 belts?
That'd be the only thing. Or Kyrie.
Yeah, well, luckily both women were okay, but I was actually concerned there for a second.
Yeah, me too.
So I called so when Sasha power bombed Asuka into the plexiglass, I called it the plexi bomb.
The plexi bomb.
Sasha hit a 5-star frog splash. It looked outstanding. Ugh.
Eddie Guerrero frog splash, not the 5-star. That's RVD.
Oh, right. Yeah, either way.
You gotta do the extra hand motions for RVD.
When Joe made a kind of a funny comment when Sasha hit the bank statement late in the match. He says, "Oh, she has it in dirty." It's like, ooh, hey.
Oh god.
Bailey 3 belts makes an appearance again. And Mitch is still trying to escape. The camera goes back to Bailey 3 belts. I thought there was a botch at first. There was like I forget the spot itself, but like there's a spot. It was probably in the corner or something where Banks goes for a move on Asuka and she misses it or fucks it up, and then it looked like she was like feigning a knee injury. But then it's like never mind. So I don't know. Maybe you remember what I'm talking about.
That would have been when she tried the knees in the corner.
Did she miss? What did she do?
Well, she had Asuka draped on Brett's rope. Did the knees the first time, then attempted it a second time, and Asuka moved.
Oh, okay, yeah. Bailey and saying if I okay, yes, and then the fucking finish, like, just kick the belt out of the ring, you fucking ref. It's so contrived. Why are you worried? I mean, it's a belt. Let's kick it out of the ring. Yeah, the ending really hurt this match because I was enjoying the match in and of itself, but I will give it a 7.
I'll give it a 7 as well because it could have been a damn 8.
It could have been a 9. I mean, like if they just had a good finish.
It could have been.
I mean, Banks and Asuka. I mean, come on.
Those two are great. Fuck you, stupid finish.
Okay, so I got 2 little segments here. Okay. We got the Kevin Rudolph gets a plug for Watch Me Now. It's the official theme song of this horror show, and yes, I said a horror show. And then we go back to the desk, and then they throw it to Charlie Caruso, who's in the back, and I'm going to shit on this real quick. It's an actual medical update on Rey Mysterio.
Oh, God.
She says that Rey Mysterio is being sent to a hospital, she says medical facility. I don't know why you can't say hospital.
Vince doesn't like that word.
Jesus Christ. So Rey Mysterio is being sent to a medical facility. Sorry, I don't want to get in trouble. For what is called globe luxation. Okay, so I looked it up. Globe luxation is this rare condition that somebody is able to pop their eyeball out of their socket and put it back in.
What the fuck?
It's a known condition. You can look it up. It's very rare. Ophthalmologists were in the article saying yes, this can happen. So does Rey Mysterio have that condition?
Apparently he developed it.
I don't know. Okay, they could just practice. Okay, but so I'm like, okay, but like they're just throwing out terms. They're just throwing out because no one in their right mind believes that Rey Mysterio actually plucked his own eyeball out of there. No one believes that shit.
Otherwise, don't you think he would do it in the past to fuck with his opponents?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you're winning, and he goes, bleh, you know.
Oh yeah, because if you're winning a match and he just pops his eyeball out, you're gonna be like, oh fuck.
Yeah. So who in their right mind believes this is going to happen? So fuck you to anyone who makes this try to seem legit. Whether it was Vince, whether it was the friggin' Booker, whether it was he's the Booker, whether it was the agent, whether it was the wrestlers themselves.
Bruce Pritchard.
Well, fuck him too. I mean, who is that stupid to believe this shit fucking happens? And like
Kevin Dunn.
And
that
so,
beaver-looking one.
So to add more perspective to what I was saying about globalization, ophthalmologists say they may, quote unquote, may encounter this once in a lifetime throughout their career. Like, this is pure nonsense.
Oh,
like, what are you trying to fucking pull? You want to make this shit seem legit? You do? Because, like, and then give us updates on WWE.com. What the fuck?
You're pissed.
I was so fucking mad. This is so dumb.
It is really dumb.
So then we go back to the next match.
All right, then we have the WWE title match where Dolph Ziggler has a mystery stipulation, and it's Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler comes out to the ring and announces that his stipulation is Extreme Rules for Dolph Ziggler only.
Good heel stuff right there. How does one able to name their own stipulation? How do you do that?
I think he had won a match where he got the McIntyre said you get to pick the stipulation.
Oh, so it's a little bit of face hubris here?
Yeah, he said he could pick it. That's right.
Dumb face.
Because it was in the promo package. So McIntyre does a belly-to-belly to Ziggler. Ziggler pokes McIntyre in the eye. So that's great.
Yeah.
McIntyre does a belly-to-belly to Ziggler again. McIntyre clotheslines Ziggler to the outside. Ziggler throws McIntyre into the turnbuckle, into the plexiglass, and then into the turnbuckle again. McIntyre does a suplex to Ziggler onto the floor instead of through a table, because that could get McIntyre disqualified.
Wait. Okay. Has there ever been a match where you put somebody through a table and you get disqualified? Ever? That's a long silence you got there, buddy.
There was one match in Ring of Honor that I know ends that way.
So it has happened, okay, but not in WWE.
Not that I'm aware of, but then again, I don't know the history of every single WWE match.
But also, you see wrestlers in main event matches get put through announce tables and not DQ'd. So when has ever been being put through a table disqualified anybody ever?
I don't know. I figure as long as you don't hit them with the table, it's fine.
But putting them through, it's okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough, okay.
McIntyre does a spinning sit-out powerbomb to Ziggler. Ziggler does a low blow to McIntyre. Ziggler is then hitting McIntyre with a chair.
Sorry, I'm reading my notes. I'm funny.
Ziggler hits McIntyre's throat into the chair. McIntyre does a belly-to-belly to Ziggler on the announcer's table.
Ding, 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 by the way.
Ziggler then does a famouser off of the announcer's table to McIntyre.
That looked good.
Ziggler does a sleeper to McIntyre. McIntyre does a clothesline to Ziggler. McIntyre launches Ziggler into the plexiglass. McIntyre does a reverse Alabama slam to Ziggler.
That's what that was called. Fuck.
McIntyre does an attempted claymore to Ziggler until Ziggler hits his leg with a chair. Then Ziggler does a zigzag to McIntyre. Ziggler does a super kick and a top rope elbow through a table to McIntyre. McIntyre does the Glasgow kiss headbutt to Ziggler. Ziggler does a famouser to McIntyre again. Ziggler does a zigzag and a uranagi on a chair to McIntyre.
That looked good.
McIntyre does a claymore to Ziggler. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre wins.
Yeah. Okay, so technically with the stipulation, Dolph Ziggler said, the match is Extreme Rules. For me only.
Yep.
Right? He says to Ziggler, he says to McIntyre, you can't use tables and chairs. Is that me, or is that two different stipulations?
It sounds like two different stipulations, but I can see where WWE would be like, well, Extreme Rules for Ziggler.
Yeah, you don't have to just say you can't. Just say I only it's for me, and stop there, because that's two different stipulations.
Yeah,
it is. And then not to mention, who gets put through a table here? The announce table, was that Ziggler?
He didn't get put through it, but he attempted to.
Oh, okay.
Because McIntyre did a move onto the fucking announcer table to Ziggler.
Well, that should be DQ.
Apparently not. It don't work that way.
Well, anyway, I'm not shitting on this match at all, because this match was fun. I'm just being, we all kind of like nitpick on things.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, I did like when he came out and said, it's Extreme Rules, and he stops for a second. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, oh yeah, that's right. It was for me. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a good story because he needs the advantage. He's smaller than McIntyre. He's a heel, so he wants to get the advantage for himself because he wants to win the title. The only problem with the only problem is that I didn't like the idea that Ziggler says you wouldn't have achieved your success because of me. That story is just so dumb because McIntyre made it for himself. He had to go and do other things in other companies, but he still did it for himself. So, but I understand.
He did bring up the fact that when McIntyre went to the main roster, though, he was Ziggler's tag partner.
Okay.
Which makes sense. So then they won the tag titles.
All right. Oh, well, like I said, I'm not going to shit on this match because of the story too much. The story is what it is, but at least some of it bled into the match, and the match played out with the story involved with it. So, it's, you know, he gets the name of his own stipulation, and I'm going to crush you. I'm going to take your title because I deserve a title shot.
Yep.
Not a problem. So, McIntyre is one of the freaking, one of the victims of no crowds. When he does his Claymore, he does the 3, 2, 1 thing. Crowd eats it up.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he doesn't have it here. So, and I love McIntyre's entrance theme. It starts off with, what was it, bagpipes?
Yeah.
And then when it's the chorus, and the electric guitar does it right with the pipes, and it sounds so good. Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, right? Yeah, so like Ziggler talks shit. You fucking face hubris. You decide, let me do the stipulation. Well, it's Extreme Rules for Dolph Ziggler only. Hell, like that. He's so good. Another guy who could have been at the top.
Could have.
And then we talked about stipulations already. Tables, you can't use them. Further tables before chairs. Yeah, all the pretty much all the stuff he said. Okay, so when McIntyre threw Ziggler into the glass, that's another kick-ass to the glass match that they're having, or bust-ass to the glass, you know. That's that's the new plexiglass move. But of course they can't do it anymore. Dang it. Oh well, I guess my gimmick's done.
Well, to be fair, we'll eventually review those other shows where you can use that gimmick still.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Dolph Ziggler put McIntyre through the table, not the other way around, the announce table. McIntyre did a really good job of making it look like, you know, that 9.5 count to get back in the ring.
Yeah.
He timed it perfect. Even looked like he was still like hurt. It wasn't like he was in there just standing there like, okay, he's on 8.5, and then he ducks in. He was still wobbling around. It's like, oh crap! I mean, perfect timing. Good job. They made that Glasgow kiss headbutt look freaking sick.
Boom.
Yeah, that zigzag or Nagi combo, even though it looks weird, it looked good. I'm sorry, I just said two different things there, but I'm surprised that like that wasn't. I don't know. I mean, like that could be a good finisher. I don't know. It's like a good combo finisher, zigzag into Uranagi.
Definitely could be.
And Ziggler's like, why don't you die? Because it'd be murder. Duh.
Why don't you die?
The inmates still have not escaped, and they're hitting the fucking plexiglass. They still haven't escaped yet, and they're not going to escape before the show's over. So they're probably still there. Anybody feed them? I hope they're okay.
I don't think they were fed.
Ziggler gets up for a super kick, says it's my time, and I said nope, because he fucking eats a fucking boot to the face.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. And McIntyre wins the match, and like I said, McIntyre's been a victim of this freaking crowdless environment that they're in. I swear to God, his run would be 10 times better if there was a crowd to cheer him on.
I agree.
And that's just a shame, but it's nobody's fault. I went back and forth with my rating for this match because the lack of crowd kind of hurt it. I still gave it an 8. I thought it was good.
I gave it a 7.5.
Yeah,
it was really good. I agree.
Yeah, still good. What dropped it down a half point from saying 8?
Honestly, it's just the lack of the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, the NXT people are essentially told what to cheer for and shit, and it's just bullshit.
Yeah, and plus you can tell who they are.
Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah.
Miss Green hair right in the front.
Yeah, and a little bit of the story going into it was a little
wonky.
Yeah, I don't buy the I deserve a title shot because of how I helped you out. Like, McIntyre could have done it on his own. Come on, but he's a heel. And he's delusional. So, but yeah, the lack of a crowd for this match specifically hurt it for me as well.
This is the only thing that hurt it is the crowd because the rest of the match is good.
Yeah. I hope. Who's McIntyre facing next for the belt? Is he
Goldberg?
Oh yeah, fuck off. How long is that match going to go? Do you think? 8 minutes. I'm saying 8 minutes, and McIntyre will do most of the work.
I'll say 6.
So 8 and 6, okay. All right, and then we go on to the main event.
Post-match interruption there. The Goldberg-McIntyre match went a whopping 2 minutes. But, yeah, they were a little off. Now, moving on.
Yay, we're at the swamp fight. Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. Not for the title.
Would you want to defend your title in a swamp fight?
Sure, why not? Why would you want to be in one?
Well, that's the even more important question. But apparently the story between these two guys is that since Bray Wyatt brought Braun Strowman up out of the swamp, because he created him to be his monster, his heater, or whatever you want to call him. And so therefore Braun has lost his way since breaking with Bray Wyatt. So therefore I'm going to bring Braun home. I'm going to recreate him in my I'm going to recreate him in my
image.
There you go. Thank you.
Welcome home, Braun.
So that's what this match is about, and we start off with Bray's just in his rocking chair, randomly just sitting in his rocking chair in the middle of a dirt road
at night.
But then we see that Braun Strowman is in an F-150 and is driving somewhere. We don't know where yet, but we probably know where.
I think he's driving to the swamp.
You might be. What if he's going to 7-Eleven?
Well, I'd rather him do that. They can have a 7-Eleven match.
Oh, yeah, like Booker T and Steve Austin had a grocery fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be better. Okay, so all joking aside, so Braun's driving his truck, and he eventually drives up to where Bray Wyatt is sitting in his rocking chair. He gets out of the truck, approaches Bray Wyatt, and says, "I'm here." And then Bray Wyatt's like, and then Braun Strowman and Wyatt are enveloped in total darkness. And then when the darkness lifts, Bray Wyatt has disappeared.
Okay, my question is, how the fuck did the lights turn out when it's already night?
I just said total darkness. I didn't say anything about lights.
Because technically there's lights shining, and then even Strowman's like truck lights turn off. And that's like, how when you didn't shut the truck off?
Yeah, so they can fuck off. I'm kidding. Okay,
fuck off.
So the darkness lifts, and Wyatt's disappeared, as he's wont to do. Strowman is getting annoyed here, or starts to get annoyed, and he picks up the rocking chair and throws it at a sign that says, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." Then we go to Braun Strowman. Oh yeah, Braun Strowman hears some laughter in the distance and decides to walk towards it. I'd be scared shitless, but I'm not 350 pounds of pure muscle either, so. Strowman is seen walking through the woods, and he fends off attacks from 2 unknown assailants. Then out of the blue, Braun Strowman gets hit by a shovel from behind, and he's on the ground. He looks up, and he does this. His eyes bug out as we have an Empire Strikes Back moment, because we see Braun Strowman gets hit by Braun Strowman.
With the sheep mask.
And he has the sheep mask. So this is like a blast from the past for Strowman. He's like, oh, good Lord, I just got hit by myself. Am I my own enemy? Am I my own weakness?
Yeah, pretty dumb.
So then the other Braun Strowman knocks the original Braun Strowman out with the shovel. And it looks like he does it because because Braun will throw the shovel into the camera, implicating that the original Braun Strowman was knocked out. And then we come to Braun Strowman being chained to a chair. He has about 3, maybe 4 wraps of the chain around him, and his arms are chained to the arms of the chair.
He can't move.
And he can't move. And it looks like he's in a laboratory, but it turns out he's actually just in a room that's outside somewhere. But I thought I heard bubbling and some electricity buzzing and shit like that, but it turns out I was wrong.
He's in Bray's sex chamber.
Oh, yeah, okay. So Braun wakes up and he's trying to get. He finds out he's chained down to a chair and he's trying to get out. And then he hears Bray Wyatt's entrance theme start up.
His old one, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, the original one.
The Broken Out of Love song.
And then it pans over to Bray Wyatt walking in the woods with his lantern. Woods walks up to a structure that has it looks like Christmas lights and random junk and everything, and eventually walks up to Braun Strowman. Strowman yells, "Get me out of here! These chains, you bastard!" Bray's like, "Welcome home, Braun Strowman. What do you think of what do you think I've done with the place?" And Braun Strowman's like, I hate you for everything you made me do." Do I have a good Braun Strowman there? It sounds pretty good. Wyatt's like, why don't you cry about it? Well, you want to hurt me, don't you? Well, you can't hurt me. I'm already dead. I like that line. So I'm not gonna go. I wrote all of it down because I'm a victim. I'm just a sadomasochist, I guess. I like pain. Maybe, I don't know. But basically the thing is that Wyatt wants Braun to accept the fact that he should be what he was originally, a monster from the swamp. Come home to me. Together we can destroy everything. We'll be gods, essentially. And Braun Strowman says, I don't care where you have been. I'm sending you back to hell where you belong. And Wyatt's like, I know what I'm doing here. Like I said, I want you to join me again. But before you join me, I have to destroy the monster you once were. Oh, I'm sorry, but before you become the monster you were, I have to destroy the monster you are. Another good line. Mm-hmm. Okay, so before we go on, because there's no more talking, thank God. Bray Wyatt does get long-winded, but I like how he tells a story.
He can tell he can cut a promo.
Yeah, so I mean, it's no wonder he's doing this gimmick. And on top of that, I'm glad both of these guys are going all in with this. I do appreciate that. At least they're not half-assing it. I mean, there's times where you see wrestlers get into a match where they don't want to be in it, whether it's the story or the opponent or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can see them just like not even putting any emphasis on their moves and everything. You've seen it before. I can't remember any match.
Randy Orton, perfect example.
But he's done that?
When he's not motivated, he doesn't perform well.
Yeah. So it's just the concept of the match is just dumb, but at least the performers are doing what they're told to do, and they're going all in with it. So I appreciate that. So then we see Bray Wyatt says to Wyatt. By the way, Strowman is still chained up. By the way, Wyatt says, "You want to see something scary?" Strowman says nothing.
Then he takes out his penis.
Sort of. So a woman walks up with a snake. It's a boa constrictor. It's a boa constrictor, by the way. This is important to learn, to know. And then the snake strikes Braun Strowman. The screen darkens. First of all, a boa constrictor does not strike out like that. It doesn't strike and bite you.
Jake the Snake Roberts?
Yeah, that's a cobra. I'm talking about a boa constrictor.
That's a Jake the Snake Roberts reference, right?
No. I'm not going to put Roberts in the same category as this. Because like a boa constrictor would not strike out to you and bite you and make you pass out. That's not how they operate. They get you and wrap around you, make you pass out, but they're implying that the snake bit Strowman. So I call bullshit. Okay, so the screen darkens, and then we come back and we see Braun Strowman at a fire pit. He's just laying there. He's he's unchained, and he wakes up.
Is this the part where we see the hog and all that?
I don't know. What hog?
They show like a split screen image of like a rabbit and then like a hog running around, like a warthog, and then they show the buzzard.
I wasn't paying attention to that stuff. It went by too quick.
Well, just because those are references to the puppets.
Yeah, I get that. I just didn't see it. So Roman starts to get to his feet, and right away starts fighting more unknown assailants. Specifically one guy who hits Strowman with a shovel from behind and then swings it at Strowman. Strowman dodges that shovel and hits whoever this guy is in the gut. Strowman takes the shovel from this mystery guy and breaks it in half and then hits the guy with the friggin' spade part of the shovel. Then Strowman kicks the guy into the fire. The guy catches fire. And then Roman just goes,
Strowman just laughs at that.
I get what they're doing here. They're trying to make... Strowman is unknowingly acknowledging his monster self inside. Mm-hmm. But then because he stops laughing because he catches himself like, crap, I just did that. Then a woman starts to speak to Braun Strowman, and we find out that it's Alexa Bliss. She says, "Follow me, Braun. We can be together. Come on, Braun. Come home." And then out of nowhere, Wyatt attacks Strowman.
You always wanted to be with me, Braun.
I would, Braun. Come on, Braun. I would. Hi, Alexa.
She's dressed up as Sister Abigail, mind you.
That's fine.
Slash the puppet.
Slash the puppet?
Oh, it's a puppet.
Oh, yeah, with the veil and all that?
It's the puppet.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
That adds into the story, man.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we'll talk about that later. So Wyatt attacks Strowman from behind. Wyatt digs his fingers into Braun's face. Braun choke slams Bray Wyatt into a motorboat, and then Braun Strowman turns the motor on the motorboat, and the motorboat goes out in the middle of the lake.
No, he doesn't turn on the motor. He just kicks it. He just goes. Ugh!
Oh, it turns on, doesn't it?
No,
didn't the motor start?
He didn't start the motor. He just kicks it and it starts floating away.
I could have sworn I heard of like an engine turnover.
Once it's gone, yeah, but.
Okay, never mind.
He just kicks it.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I mean, either way, Wyatt's on a motorboat and it's going out to the middle of a lake. So Strowman is walking on the dock and turns around to see the same motorboat approaching him from the other side of the dock. So Strowman's like all confused and shit. So he walks into the lake, dummy, and sees that the boat is empty. And he looks around kind of confused. And then out of the blue, Wyatt attacks Braun Strowman with an oar. Wyatt tries to drown Strowman. And then he does this by so Wyatt pushes Strowman underwater and then Wyatt for some reason disappears. Okay, you had him. Okay, Strowman comes back up above water and he's all breathing like coughing, water in his lungs
COVID.
and shit. He's got COVID or whatever else is in that water. Wyatt again attacks Strowman from out of nowhere with an oar plus a few punches. So they're like on a dock that goes to a gazebo, I think.
Yep.
They fight over to the gazebo on the dock. Wyatt hits Strowman repeatedly with the oar. I mean, he's nailing this dude. And then Wyatt yells out into the darkness. He has his back to Strowman saying, "Look what you've made me do! I didn't want to do this, but I have to. I have to destroy you." Okay. So here's a cool visual. You see Wyatt with his back to the camera, but all you see from Strowman when he stands up is his shoulder, implying that he's this big motherfucker standing up, and you better turn around.
Yep.
I thought it was so the camera work is on point in this match. So then they face each other, and Braun starts doing his laughter. Wyatt attacks with the oar, but Strowman kicks Wyatt right into the lake. Strowman goes to find Wyatt, but can't find him. He's digging around in the water.
Yeah.
Strowman says, "It's over." Hubris, because it ain't over.
Well, then at this point, doesn't the graphic for like Extreme Rules, like the show is over, pop up on the screen?
Yeah. Or no, was that labeled a little bit later? No, you're right. Because you see the graphic, and like I'm thinking, okay, and then but no. Wyatt emerges from the water and applies the mandible claw on Strowman and pulls Braun Strowman into the water. And then they both kind of struggle underwater. You see like air bubbles come up, and then see Strowman trying to pop out of the water, but he is dragged back under the water. At this point, you don't see either wrestler, well, either guy. There's not wrestling, but the water starts to boil and it turns red. And then the last thing we see is the Fiend popping out of the water, and he says, "Let me in." He laughs, and then the match is over, and we cut to black. I did die inside a little bit.
It's over.
Okay, so one thing I will say, they both went all in on the story. So therefore the story actually was fun to see how it progressed a little bit.
I'll agree with that part.
Okay, right. We're all in agreement on that. But everything else about it, what the match they were in,
Sucked.
A lot of the things were silly, which is fine, but that's part of the story. It wasn't a match. It was a segment. It really just could have been... why couldn't they just, like, shit on... No, don't know. I mean, like... Maybe they did it on this pay-per-view because not many people will watch it, but a lot more people watch SmackDown versus the pay-per-views.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not even... Like, I get they need to have these two guys in the ring, but there's got to be a way to get these guys in the ring.
Not on a swamp fight.
But not in a swamp fight. But, like, again, at least the story kind of, like... It goes back to prior associations and...
storyline continuity.
So at least there's that. And of course they both go all in. I was going to give this match like a shit rating, but honestly, like, yeah, after reading back on it, and I give it a 5.
I gave it a 4.
Yeah. They went out and did what they're supposed to do, and they both went all in with it. I could have given it a 6 maybe, but like I don't think it deserves that because it's a dumb match. Period.
Dud.
It's a dud. But I gave it 5. I gave it a 5 because these guys went all in with it. The story was told well, even though it was a silly story. But at least, I'm sorry, the way it was done, there's some silly things.
Yeah, definitely.
But the story was still pretty good. You know, for what it was. But like, it was very hard to watch. And this is not a match I would show to a person who's getting into wrestling.
Fuck no, they wouldn't understand it.
Yeah, they wouldn't
Neither
understand
do
it.
we.
Anyway, and we know what this is all about. So,
holy shit.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't recommend this show for anybody. Not even the Owens Murphy match. Okay, Owens Murphy. Watch the pre-show. It's on YouTube. Go watch that.
And if you want to watch the table match, go for it. Other than that, skip this one.
Yeah, I don't want to shit on anything because I'm more positive, but this was dumb. I mean, like, you heard my rants about every single part that was dumb. The Rey Mysterio stuff and Rollins stuff was just ridiculous. This match was ridiculous. I think they could have had it in the ring. Bray Wyatt's in his original gear. Have a way to where they can. But it's not really easy for him to go into the Fiend. I mean, you can darken the lights, but like he has to have his original Wyatt gear on. He has to change to his Fiend gear, which you can't do.
Could have literally just did a pre-tape.
Something. I mean, there's no real crowd. You can record it any time. They've done it more than once.
They did the greatest wrestling match ever. They pre-recorded that.
Yeah. Randy
Orton and Edge, which we eventually have to review.
Yeah, even the Randy Orton Fiend, when he burned the Fiend alive, was pre-recorded.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, I try not to shit on, but like on wrestling matches.
This one, there's no choice.
You have no choice because like you can't take it seriously.
No.
You can't.
I wish I could.
Well, whatever brain cells I lost, I'll kill. I have more fun ways to kill brain cells than this.
Drinking.
Give me some fucking crystal meth. I don't care.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Don't watch the Extreme Rules, the horror show. Just watch our review.
Yeah, we did the hard work for you, so you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.